I've been using the Dyson V12 for over 3 years now, and it's actually one of the few vacuums I've consistently kept in rotation. So instead of just relying on memory, I decided to test it all over again, using the exact same methods. I retested the airflow through the nozzle and wand, checked the runtime on both hard floors and carpet, ran the sand hard floor test, and did a deep cleaning test on carpet. Because most reviews only show you what a vacuum can do when it's brand new, but what really matters is how it holds up after years of actual use. And honestly, I didn't know what to expect going into this. If anything, I thought the results would be worse after 3 years. But once I started testing, there were a few surprises. So in this video, I'll show you the updated results, what changed, what hasn't, and whether the Dyson V12 Detect is still worth considering today. So let's start with airflow, because this is one of the biggest indicators of real-world performance. I tested airflow through the nozzle again using the exact same setup from when it was brand new. Here's what it looked like before. On low, it pulled 24 CFM. Auto was at 28.52 CFM, and max power hit 48.38 CFM. Now fast forward 3 years, same vacuum, but this time with a dirty filter. On low, airflow dropped to 17.74 CFM. Auto went down to 21.88 CFM, and max dropped to 35.36 CFM. So across the board, that's roughly a 23 to 27% drop in airflow depending on the setting. And honestly, that's a pretty noticeable drop on paper. But here's the interesting part. Even with that drop, the airflow levels are still within range where the vacuum can function effectively in real-world cleaning, especially on hard floors, which is where I use it the most. So yes, performance does decline over time, especially if the filter isn't cleaned. But it doesn't fall off a cliff the way you might expect after 3 years of use. And that's something I didn't fully expect going into this test. Now airflow is one thing, but after a few years, battery performance is where a lot of cordless vacuums start to fall off. So I retested the runtime, again using the same setup on both hard floors and carpet. Let's start with hard floors. When it was brand new, the V12 ran for about 63 minutes on Eco and around 37 minutes and 50 seconds on Auto. After 3 years, Eco dropped slightly to 59 minutes and 40 seconds, and Auto went down to 35 minutes and 34 seconds. So that's roughly a 4 to 6% drop in runtime on hard floors, which honestly isn't that bad after 3 years of use. Now here's where things get a bit more interesting, on carpet. Brand new, it ran about 42 minutes on Eco and 27 minutes and 31 seconds on Auto. But after 3 years, Eco actually increased to 46 minutes and 53 seconds. And Auto went up slightly to around 29 minutes and 35 seconds. That's roughly a 7 to 12% improvement depending on the setting. Boost mode was pretty much the same, around 6 minutes, with only a very small difference. So overall, runtime performance didn't just hold up, it was actually more consistent than I expected. And just to give some context, most of my usage is on hard floors, and I rarely use max power. So the Eco and Auto results are really the most relevant for how I personally use this vacuum. But even then, I didn't expect to see improvements of some of these tests after 3 years. And that's something that definitely stood out to me. So at this point, we've seen a drop in airflow and pretty stable battery performance. But what really matters is how that translates to actual cleaning. So one quick thing before I get into these tests. For the airflow test earlier, I left the filter dirty on purpose, just to show how performance can drop over time if you don't maintain it. But for these cleaning tests, I went ahead and cleaned the filter first, just to keep things consistent and fair. So just keep that in mind. The airflow results show more of a real-world as-used scenario, while the cleaning tests reflect performance with a properly maintained filter. So starting with sand on hard floors. When it was brand new, the V12 picked up about 99.9% of the sand. After 3 years, that dropped slightly to around 99.5%. So that's roughly a 0.4% difference, which is basically negligible in real-world use. In other words, even after 3 years, it's still performing almost exactly the same on hard floors. Now for deep cleaning on carpet. Brand new, it removed about 94.1% of embedded debris. After 3 years, that actually went up slightly to around 95%. So that's close to about a 1% improvement. And this is where things get interesting. Even though the airflow dropped by around 25%, that didn't really translate into a meaningful drop in actual cleaning performance. So what this tells me is the drop in airflow is real, especially if the filter isn't clean. But once you maintain it properly, the actual cleaning performance doesn't really suffer. And honestly, that's something I didn't expect going into this. Now the last thing I wanted to check was filtration, so I ran a fog test. And for this one, I kept everything as is. I'm still using the original filter and I didn't clean it before running the test. I wanted to see how it performs in a more real-world as-used condition after 3 years. And even then, the V12 didn't leak. There was no visible fog escaping from the seals or the system, which tells me that even after 3 years, the overall sealing and filtration are still holding up really well. And that's more important because it's not just really about picking up dirt, but also keeping fine dust from going back into the air. Now those are the test results. But after using the Dyson V12 Detect for over 3 years, there are a few things I've noticed in day-to-day use. First, just for context, my home is mostly hard floors, so that's how I primarily use this vacuum. And because of that, I've used the Laser Slim Fluffy Head a lot. And honestly, it's held up really well. The roller still feels smooth and the laser is still working just fine, which is something I wasn't completely sure about long term. But even after 3 years, it still highlights dust really clearly. So from a usability standpoint, that part has definitely held up. Another thing that stood out to me is the dustbin seal. On my older Dyson V10 and even the V15, the dustbin seals actually failed on me over time and I had to replace them. And in the case of the V10, I also had the motor fail, so I ended up replacing that as well. So I've definitely seen how these vacuums can wear down with long-term use. But on the V12, the seal has held up really well. I haven't had issues with it loosening, leaking, or anything like that. So overall, in terms of build quality and day-to-day usability, the V12 has been pretty consistent over time. Nothing major has really degraded in a way that affects how I use it. So if you found this helpful and you want to see more long-term tests like this, consider subscribing. I'll be testing more vacuums over time, not just out of the box, but how they actually hold up after real use.